Hey guys, this episode of the What Are We Watching podcast is brought to you by summerofgiveaways.com.
Yeah, Carlin turns on the TV, Christian flips off the screen, cause there's no good children's shows that he's seen. We've got dogs with blogs, superheroes in the ER. All dads are dumb and kids have better PR. Carlin just smile, Christian sits with the scowl. He complains to his son, all the kids should suck now. They sit and discuss the show's plus and minuses while you listen or watch on YouTube to the arguments. Who is right? Is it the son or the dad? Either way you get to laugh knowing Christian is mad. So pull up a chair, get the corner poppin'. Here's a new episode of What Are We Watching?
Now, summerofgiveaways.com is an excellent website where you can register to win some excellent prizes. They've already given away a Stanley vacuum seal bottle thermos that we all know and love, but there's tons more to give away. iTunes gift cards, Mighty mugs, which fit with our episode today, Mighty Men. There's Entourage CDs. There's Transformer gift packs. There's a lot of awesome prizes. They've even got t-shirts from Pop Life, one of our favorite sponsors. So go to summerofgiveaways.com and register to win. You can also go to our website, our main website, which is plaiddadblog.com. Go in the upper right-hand corner and you get a second chance to win there. So check it out, summerofgiveaways.com and plaiddadblog.com. Check out the Summer of Giveaways and win some awesome stuff.
What are we watching?
Okay, Carlin, how are you doing today?
Very good.
All right, so are you excited about this episode?
Yes.
This is one of your favorite shows, correct?
Yes.
And did you love it?
Yes, I loved it.
Okay, and you didn't think it was bad in any way?
No.
And we've not discussed it before the podcast?
No.
Okay, well, I'm here to destroy you.
Sorry, not happening.
All right, so this episode we watched Mighty Med Season 2, Episode 12, and as always, there was a link in the previous mini episode for people to follow along, watch it before the podcast, and then listen to us talk about the episode of Mighty Med. So, why don't you tell us just what's Mighty Med about in general?
So it's really about these two kids discovering a secret hospital for superheroes.
Oh, that's a very tight and excellent explanation. Good job. I would also say that they have managed to make a superhero show, which every kid wants, right?
Yes.
And every nerd like me wants a superhero show, and they've managed to make it about the most boring part of being a superhero.
Way not boring.
No, it's super boring. They've managed to make a TV show about superheroes going to the hospital.
Yes.
And a lot of times the superheroes in other episodes have lost their power or their power's on the fritz, right?
Well, I've watched other shows and the actor still has powers.
Right, but sometimes their powers are on the fritz or something's wrong with their powers, right?
Yes.
So they've managed to take a show about superheroes and superpowers and make it about the crappiest day in that superhero's life when his powers are broken or he's at a hospital.
It is not crappy.
Yeah, hey, let's take a show about superheroes and make them fight and do super duels in the street and have awesome action. No, we're not going to do that. What we're actually going to do is make a superhero show in a hospital where superheroes are laying on hospital beds with super IVs in their arms. That sounds exciting for kids.
You don't have to put it that way, though.
But that's what they've done. That's how I would sum up the show. So you would describe the show as two kids find a secret room to a superhero's hospital, and I would say that they have made a superhero show for kids with the worst day of a superhero's life.
But it's really funny and cool, and it's not garbage like you say other shows are.
Okay, so let's get on to what's funny about Mighty Med. Now, this episode, for everybody watching and or listening, it kills me because it has some great comedians guest starring in these roles, and I get why they do that because they've got kids that watch these shows, and plus it's just a superhero show, and it's fun to do this kind of stuff. And honestly, they don't really care if the writing is great on these shows. They're just guest starring on a Disney or Nickelodeon show, and I appreciate that. They're doing it for their kids, and that's awesome. But it also pains me to see comics who I love, like the Sklar brothers and Patton Oswalt, star and schlock like this. So, how does the episode open up for Mighty Med Season 2, Episode 12?
It opens up with a worker coming to the hospital with his pet camel.
His pet camel.
Yes.
Right, and he didn't think that was weird.
No, he didn't.
But everybody else thought that was weird, including
Yes.
me. Okay, so he brought his pet camel to work. But we'll get back to the pet camel in a minute because I've got plenty to say about the pet camel. But what was the main part of the story in this episode of Mighty Med?
The main part about it was Oliver trying to train Wallace and Clyde to be good because they used to be supervillains.
Right. Now, that was played by the Sklar brothers. And so one of the kids that works at the Mighty Med that has stumbled into this mighty hospital is trying to make two bad guys good.
Yes.
Basically, by using his skills as a soccer coach.
I thought it was a T-ball.
T-ball coach? Okay, T-ball coach, soccer coach, whatever it is. But he is using his skills as a coach for his nephew's team to teach these supervillains how to be good.
Yes.
Okay, and that sounds plausible to you.
Yes.
Okay, good deal. So,
I don't know why you should have a problem with it.
why should I have a problem with that? Do you remember when I was your soccer coach?
Yes.
And did I have any luck hurting you around with all the other kids? Or was it just pretty much a rampage on the field?
It was pretty much a rampage on the field.
Right, and this is a kid hoping to cure two supervillains.
But the supervillains are also funny.
Oh, they are in real life, but they're not in this episode. Okay, the Sklar brothers are bad guys, and they are trying to be taught to be good, like we said. There's a laugh track in this show, just like the other show, right? To tell you when to laugh at things that aren't really funny. Okay, so...
No.
All right.
Some things are funny that don't have a laugh track on it.
So what's going to happen to these guys if they don't become good guys?
They will be melted themselves into figurines.
Yeah, the head of the hospital. The head of the hospital, okay?
Yes, they also have supervillains too.
A hospital, which its goal is to save people and make them better. Also, the head of the hospital controls what happens to bad guys and can melt them into action figurines.
Yes, but I don't think that happens very often, melting them.
So you're saying that this hospital is also like a super Betamax prison for bad guys?
A little bit.
Okay, that makes sense. So instead of Mighty Med, it should be called the Mighty Fed because it's like a federal penitentiary.
I don't get what you're talking about, but cool.
Okay, let's just jump into the camel situation. Now, the guy that works at the hospital brings his camel to work.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
And I think that they asked him if he knew any tricks, right? Like a dog does, like sitting and begging. And,
yes.
And what was the trick that he said the camel knew how to do?
Pull a hat out of a rabbit instead of pulling a rabbit out of a hat.
Right. Which is a poop joke, basically. Right? Right? Okay, which comes back later, and he actually has a little hat on his head, and everybody smells him walking around.
Yes.
Because the hat smells like...
The rabbit.
The rabbit's butt.
Yes.
Okay. And this guy's already odd looking, like that. So everybody else looks normal.
Yes.
Right? But this guy looks like an alien.
Well, yes, he has a big brain.
Okay, so there's one alien and everybody else is normal looking. Do you think maybe that's just to save money on special effects and makeup? Did you never think of that?
No.
No. Okay. So the boy that is, there's one boy trying to help the guys become good, even though they didn't ask for that. And then there's also a boy trying to give himself superpowers.
Yes, his name is Kaz.
Okay, and how does Kaz try to recreate his superpower or try to get superpowers?
He puts crystals in a helmet that messes with his brain, so his senses become heightened.
Yeah. So, but he's stealing another guy's origin story.
Yes.
Basically. So now these two guys love comics, these two kids, right? Like
yes.
They're comic book nerds. That's the whole premise. In the beginning of the show, they're at a comic book shop. The bad guys actually are the guys that own the comic book shop.
Yeah, Wallace and Clyde.
So really, you could say that they want to save the bad guys just so that their comic book store stays open. They really don't even care about these guys. They just care about getting their comics.
Okay, if you look at it like that.
Okay, well, I do look at it that way. Okay, so let's just go on that premise that that's really all they care about is their comics. But don't you think a guy that reads comic books all the time and works in a superhero hospital would know that you can't just recreate somebody's origin powers? Or maybe that's a dumb idea and it can have horrible, horrible consequences? Wouldn't you think, oh man, this is probably a dumb idea?
But it's in a hospital. They can fix you.
Oh, okay. So you're saying there's a safety net.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So that makes sense. I'll actually give you that point. He's in a hospital, so at least if he does something stupid, there's a chance they could save him.
Yes.
Okay, but in the episode and trying to give himself superheroes powers, doesn't he actually give a camel laser beams out of its nose?
You think that happens.
You do think that happens. Spoiler alert, it doesn't really happen because the camel has always had laser beams coming out of his nose.
Yes.
Which a guy brought to work knowing that.
Yes.
Okay, so this kid actually thought he did cause a camel to have laser beams coming out of its nose. And that's not a problem?
I guess so.
Yeah, I mean, I would think, okay, let's say Hobbs, your dog, all of a sudden had laser beams coming out of his nose. Do you think Mom and Dad might have an issue with that?
Yes. Well, actually, yes.
Yeah, why?
Because he would be messing up stuff and tearing things around the house.
And possibly murdering you and your brother and sister.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to have a pet with laser beams out of its nose. If I don't feed him on time, he's going to kill me.
Yes.
Yeah. Although it would be cool if he could zap his own poop and we didn't have to pick it up.
Yay!
Yeah, although it would smell like hot poop.
Oh,
But now
yeah.
we're back to poop jokes like the rabbit and the camel. How does a camel pull a hat out of a rabbit anyway? He's got no opposable thumbs.
It's magic. It's a magic trick.
All right. Let's just finish talking about the camel now, knock it out of the way, and get to the meat of the story in a minute. What is the camel's name?
Pamela Anderson.
Pamela Anderson. Now, tell the people listening and watching what your mom said to you about that or asked you.
She asked me, do you get why it's a funny name? And I said, no, it's just probably someone they're making fun of that has that name.
Okay. They are making fun of a person named Pamela Anderson. Okay. With the name Pamela Anderson. Now, you have no idea who Pamela Anderson is.
Yes, no idea.
And she hasn't made anything newsworthy in the last 10 years at least 5 years. She has not been really in any TV shows or anything else. But on top of that, she has been in things that are totally inappropriate for kids. And that's what they're making a joke about on Disney Channel. Pamela Anderson, who's done things that we can't talk about on the podcast because it's family friendly. That's who they're making a joke about. And you had no idea who that was.
No.
But it had a laugh track, and did you laugh when they said it?
Yes.
Yes. And that is why people keep using laugh tracks, because it works. It works every time. And I will argue for the laugh track when it comes to shows like MASH. But these shows are just making sure people laugh at jokes they don't even get when the laugh track comes on. You will admit that you just kind of laugh along with the laugh track sometimes.
Well, Pamela Anderson is a funny name.
It is a funny name. I'm going to say I guess it can work on 2 levels, but barely. Okay, so pretty much, did the kid get superpowers that was screwing around with the camel and all that kind of stuff?
No.
Oh, and by the way, let me ask this. The girl that's running around Mighty Med in a superhero costume, I just found out she doesn't have superpowers. I thought she did. Why is she having a superhero costume on?
Because her name is Skylar. She is a superhero.
But she has no powers.
I guess I don't know what happened with that. She did usually have superpowers.
She has had superpowers in other episodes?
Yes.
You're sure?
Yes.
Okay. So, I mean, you haven't watched every episode from the beginning.
Not every episode from... She has made a portal appear and that kind of stuff.
So why didn't she have superpowers in this episode? We don't know.
I'm not sure.
We
didn't watch from the beginning.
Yeah, we did. Oh, from the beginning of the season, you mean? Yeah.
Yes.
So you're saying something must have happened previously in the season?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So there's actually running storylines throughout the seasons. That is crazy. Okay, so the meat of the story is the Sklar brothers, who are great comedians, and I recommend one of their Comedy Central bits. I will put the link below, but it's probably more for adults than for kids. I think it's probably safe for teenagers and up, but I'll put the link below, and that's up to the parents whether to watch it or not. So the Sklar brothers are bad guys that are going to be disintegrated into action figures.
Yes.
Which makes no sense because they're not made out of plastic. And then this boy takes it upon himself to turn them good, which they never asked for.
Yes.
Okay, so he takes them to where to teach them how to be good guys?
He takes them back to the comic book store.
Which they own, so technically that's their lair.
Yes.
So that's like taking Batman to the Batcave and saying, hey, I'm going to teach you how to be the Joker.
I'm not sure what to say about that.
Okay. So they take him back to the comic book shop, and he changes them into tracksuits to make them feel like they're following a coach, which makes absolutely no sense. And so they get in their tracksuit, and he basically just tells them what? How does he teach them to be good people?
Well, he brought up this cardboard figure that is really tall, and then they just sliced it.
Okay, so...
But that was not really teaching them.
No, so basically he let them have access to weapons and said, be good. And used a whistle. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Yes, but it was funny.
It was fun. Okay.
Yes, it was funny.
Ooh, boy. Oh, did you also notice that the comic book store had no actual comics in it or real comic toys? You didn't, did you?
I thought it did.
Oh, everything that was hanging around that comic book store looked like it was from a Dollar Tree or from a store in Chinatown that I once went to. They had cell phone containers, they had like headphones, and what looked to be chargers on the wall, and they had some weird looking action figure off in the distance that you couldn't make out. There's no Superman symbols, no Marvel symbols. I mean, Disney makes the show, right?
Yes.
Disney XD. And so Disney owns Marvel. You would think maybe they'd put some Marvel stuff on the wall.
Yes.
Yeah, that would make sense, but there was nothing like that.
Wait, maybe it's a different universe.
No, okay. That's a valid point. I will give you that one. Okay.
They have different superheroes we don't even know about.
Yeah, superheroes that go to ERs.
Okay.
All right. So, basically, he tries to teach them to be good. He steps away for a second, and then what happens?
And then the exterminator comes in and sprays them with knockout spray,
Okay.
basically. And he disintegrates Horace's banana, and he makes it look like Wallace disintegrated him.
Okay. Because the part we didn't talk about, I will say I purposely left out, is that while he's teaching them to be good, okay, the guy that said he would turn them into action figures, he's called him to see the bad guys and said, look, they're good now. You know how you can tell? I'm giving them the Disintegrator Ray, and they're going to stand right in front of you, Mr. Guy, who is going to turn them into action figures and destroy them. I'm going to give them a Disintegrator Ray after I've been around them for, 5 hours? And now they're going to prove that they're good guys.
He set it on the table so they would know if he picked it up.
I'm just saying, he's been around these guys for 5 hours. He hands them a ray that can disintegrate any life and says, okay, now they're good guys, I promise you. This is how we're going to test them.
He's seen Wallace and Clyde for quite a while, if you had watched some other episodes.
Oh my goodness, but there are bad guys in the other episodes. Aren't they
Yeah,
bad?
well,
Okay.
I saw them in a prison cell.
Yes, so they're bad guys, and he gives them a disintegrator ray to
But
prove they're
I don't
good.
get
Just
why
saying that's
they're-
dangerous.
Yes,
Maybe that's dangerous.
yes, but I don't get why they should be villains. They're funny.
Okay, so we're entering the finish line here. So the bad guy, the big bad guy, is played by a comedian named Patton Oswalt. And I love Patton Oswalt. I'm a big fan of his. And I know why he's doing this show. I get it. He's got a kid. He wants to be able to watch this stuff. He does lots of TV shows and cartoon voiceovers. He's on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes.
So I get why he's doing this, but it's such a bad show and such bad writing. So explain to us, what does the exterminator's lair look like?
It looks like a house to me.
Okay.
I think there was a bed. There was a bed in the background, I think.
Right. Well, it was a warehouse. And he's
Yes.
called the exterminator, and the guy that was going to disintegrate the good guys or turn them into action figures, he's got him hanging on the wall on like a fly trap, basically. That's what that is, a glue trap. So he gets these guys, the Sklar brothers, that used to be bad guys. And why does he want to frame them? Do you remember why?
I think because it was some sort of party he thought was for him, and it really wasn't.
Yeah, a year ago, he thought that there was a birthday party being thrown for him, and it turned out just to be a party that he wasn't really involved with or invited to.
Yes.
So that's why he's going to destroy their lives.
Yes.
So basically, he has the feeling and the mood of a 13-year-old girl.
Yes.
That's not weird to you?
A little bit.
A little bit that he wants to
Yes,
destroy
complaining over just this little thing that happened a year ago.
a year ago. And so on the year's anniversary, so that means it's his birthday that day, he's now going to take down these brothers because they didn't invite him to a birthday party he thought was existing but didn't.
Yes.
Okay, and he's willing to kill for this.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. So
It's a little silly.
it's just a little bit, just a touch. Okay, so he gives them he says, "Why don't you join up with me? Let's kill this bad guy. Let's become, be bad guys together."
And that's because Wallace grabbed the disintegrator and disintegrated his gun.
He disintegrated
His laser gun.
So the good guys have the disintegrator ray now, right?
Yes.
And what do they choose to do with it?
They choose to disintegrate the trap that Horace was on.
They disintegrate the glue trap. It disappears without disintegrating him.
Yes.
Okay. And then how do they wrap up the show?
They wrap up the show by what goes to the other part with Kaz.
Well, I mean, what I'm saying is they lock up Patton Oswalt.
Yes.
And the brothers, I guess, are free. I guess they proved them they're good
he
guys.
He said he was free, and he gave them medals while the exterminator was there.
Right.
And he said, "Why don't I get one? I participated."
It was a participation medal that they all got. They didn't get medals for winning or being good. They got participation medals.
Yes.
Which completely sums up your generation. Everybody wants a medal, no matter if they lost or if they won, correct?
Yes, but it was really funny because he said, "Well, I don't have any more, but you can use one in your reenactment."
Okay, the reenactment. Now, this is something we did not touch on. Anybody that watched the episode, I will give the writers this. The reenactment scenes were excellent. Basically, the brothers reenact, the bad brothers reenact a scene where they're trying to figure out how the guy got, kidnapped, basically. So
Yes.
they're doing a reenactment scene, and all of a sudden, the Sklar brothers, they're in tuxedos, and he says to them, "Why are you in tuxedos in this? You're wearing jumpsuits." And they're like,
"It's my reenactment.
"It's my
We
reenactment."
can do what we want in our reenactment."
Right. And then when Patton Oswalt, the exterminator, has his reenactment, what does he have with him?
He has this nice-looking girl with him.
A beautiful model and a motorcycle.
Yes.
And it turns out that in real life, he just had a bicycle.
Yes.
Yeah.
And nothing else.
Right. So I will give him that. The reenactment jokes were legit funny. So I will give them 2 points. Mighty Med gets 2 points, where Casey Undercover, our first episode, they get 0 points. But
Man.
you still love that Casey Undercover, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, I think you just like Casey. Ooh, you like
No.
Casey.
I like the show.
Carlin likes Casey.
No.
All right. She's out of both our leagues. All right. So anyway, I did enjoy the reenactment cutbacks. I did enjoy the reenactment scenes, and those were funny.
Yes.
Funny. But you thought it was all funny. The stinky rabbit hat, the alien-looking dude, the camel with lasers in their nose.
Yes.
The bad guys that didn't ask to be turned good but got turned good. All of that stuff.
Yes.
How about the time where the kid told the 2 bad guys, he goes, "Hey, I really need you to hustle." And they said, "Do you mean work hard or do this dance? Because we can only do one." And then they did a dance.
Yes. I think it was like some from the 70s, they said.
Yeah, it was a 70s dance.
Yes.
So they made a joke about Pamela Anderson and a joke about doing the hustle.
Yes.
On a kid show.
Yes.
In 2015.
Yes.
And that's good.
Yes. Why do I keep saying yes?
I don't know. I would be saying no, if you asked me to watch this again.
That's because it's you and it's really good and you think it's not.
All right. So, to sum up Mighty Med, how would you describe how much you love this show compared to all the other kid shows that are out there?
I think I would say it is my favorite.
Your favorite kid show. So
other than Phineas and Ferb, but sadly that's not playing anymore.
You're right. Phineas and Ferb isn't playing again. And Phineas and Ferb does not count with these horrible shows because Phineas and Ferb is awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, Phineas and Ferb is great. I've got nothing against the Ferb Man. That is awesome. That is a wonderful show. And I will go to my grave saying it. Yes.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Which is also on Disney XD. Well, not anymore. They canceled it.
Yes.
But you can watch it on Netflix. So, 1 out of 10, you give Mighty Med a...
2 points.
No, I give them 2 points. 10 being the best, 1 being bad. You give Mighty Med what? It's your favorite show.
Yes.
So 1 out of 10, you give it a 10?
Yes.
You're confused by the number structure. Okay, it's fine.
And then Casey Undercover, 1 out of 10, I would give it a 9.
A 9. Because Casey's cute.
No.
Carlin likes Casey.
No, I actually like her brother more because
I
he's
do too.
really
He's
funny.
the only kid in the show that... Okay, we're not talking about Casey Undercover. So, please join us next week as we discuss all of your comments. Now, what you can do is go to whatarewewatching.com, go to the comments below the video and or audio, and leave a comment what you thought I was completely wrong about on the show or what you thought Carlin was wrong about. You can also go to YouTube and leave it in the comments, our Facebook page at Plaid Dad Blog, and we also post the videos at plaiddadblog.com. Please leave us comments on what you thought we missed, what you didn't like about the show. Did we miss anything that was silly, funny, horrible in the show? Also, what show would you like us to do next time? We're doing more shows like Victorious and Kicking It and
Yes,
all of these other horrible shows that you know you hate, but you have to watch because you love your kids like I love my son. So let us know what you'd want to watch. Please leave us a message and tell us what we missed in this episode or what you liked about the show, and we will say your name, say your comments in next week's mini episode. Do you have anything more to add, Carlin?
I don't think so. I think I'm done for today.
All right. Thank you very much for watching the What Are We Watching podcast or listening on Libsyn, on your phone, computer, or in your car. We really appreciate it. Check out our sponsors. Go to summerofgiveaways.com. Just put in your email address and you're going to win some awesome stuff. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye, Internet.
Goodbye.
Subscribe to our YouTube page or else.
This production is brought to you by the Plaid Dad Blog Podcast Network. For more information, visit plaiddadblog.com.